Hi, here we are with the third essay of the semester, the causal argument essay. Let me point out that word is causal, not casual. I don't know what a casual essay is. It's a causal essay. The causal essay is to be a minimum of 1,000 words in which you present and support an argument of causation as defined in Everything's an Argument, Chapter 11. Your essay must cite a minimum of 6 outside sources, 4 of which originate in print or have print analogs. In other words, books, magazine articles, scholarly journal articles, dissertations, government reports, those kind of things. Doesn't matter how you get them. You can get them electronically, most people do, but they originate in print or have a print analog. These sources must be presented in correct MLA fashion with both parenthetical in-text documentation and a works cited page. Dictionaries, encyclopedias, and other general reference works do not count as sources, although they may be used. 3 of your sources must be from scholarly sources, such as dissertations, journals, and/or scholarly books published by university presses. Again, we get those from our JSTOR database at Mesa College in our library, or EBSCOhost through our library. Just click on the peer review only option, which EBSCOhost has, and everything you get will be, guess what? Scholarly work. Also, you must have a works consulted page with at least 2 sources. General reference works like encyclopedias and dictionaries may appear on that page. Well, let me just explain. Works consulted as opposed to works cited. Works cited means the works are cited, that is, they appear in your essay. They are quoted from, they are paraphrased, they are referenced, you took a table or a chart or diagram from them, figure. You used those sources in your essay. A works consulted page is for sources that were relevant, helpful, but they ultimately didn't make it into your essay. So it's like an additional reading kind of page. Additional sources that somebody who's interested in the same topic could go to. Okay, but they are not, let me repeat, works consulted are not in the essay. They're additional sources, and you need 2 of those. And yes, you may use encyclopedias and dictionaries on that general reference, on the works consulted, I should say, as long as, again, they're not cited in the essay. The topic will be a topic of your own choosing, but just as a reminder, there are a few topics that are off limits: abortion, death penalty, child abuse, and religion. Okay, it's the same 4 all the time. Certainly, there are many other topics to choose from. You must also provide a word count of your essay at the end of the text. Do not include a name block, works cited, or works consulted in your word count. Now, you are to submit a rough draft for peer editing by Wednesday, July 24th, 11:59 p.m. Okay, just like we've been doing all semester. There'll be a work group. There'll be a new work group, right? And you'll be put into that new work group, and that's where you bring your rough draft by the end of the day, Wednesday. This draft should be as full and complete as possible, meeting all minimum standards required for the assignment. The rough draft is to be submitted to your peer group and to me. Hopefully by this time of the semester, we've pretty much got that down. Peer editing of the rough drafts will need to be completed by Friday, July 26, 11:59 p.m. Peer edits will be submitted both to your peer group and to me, again. The more work you put into the draft, the better your final draft will be. Be sure to consult the out of class essay guidelines and the MLA handouts so that you avoid errors in presentation and style. After the peer editing session, you will need to revise and polish your essay and turn in the final draft Monday, July 29th, 11:59 p.m. No late essays will be accepted without a verified emergency or illness. Okay? Minimum requirements for this assignment: at least 1,000 words, at least 6 sources, 4 of which originate in print or have print analogs. Didn't have space for that on the page. At least 3 of those sources are from scholarly works, such as dissertations, journal articles, or books published by a university press, MLA documentation for both in-text and works cited page, and a works consulted page with at least 2 sources. By the way, works consulted follows the works cited. So the works cited page is one page by itself. The works consulted is done the same way, just afterwards. You can see the sample that's in the module for this. Now, I, of course, want you to engage with Chapter 11 of Everything's an Argument, but let me just say this. The causation essay isn't really all that new for us because we did the argument of fact. And the argument of fact and the argument of causation are, shall we say, close cousins. In the causation argument, you basically have an option to go in 2 directions. You can go back in time, looking at a situation and say, why did this happen? Okay? When that happens, you're going from effect back to causes. What caused something to happen? Okay? So if you want to look at the Great Depression, which is, by the way, not a very good topic, I'm just using this as an example, you would say, well, what were the things that happened that led to the Great Depression? Or you can go forward and either talk about something in the past or in the present now and say, okay, what are the effects? What will happen because of this? So really the causation argument, this assignment, could actually be either going backwards in time, asking the question, why did something happen? Or going forwards in time and arguing what will happen or what did happen as a result of some certain effect. So you go from cause to effects or effect back to causes. So for instance, in today's world, a very popular topic is climate change. You can either argue, why did climate change happen? Okay, what are the causes? Or you can say, what are the effects of climate change? In other words, what's happening because of climate change? See the difference between the two? I do not want an essay that engages in going in both directions. At 1,000 words, we're still writing a pretty brief essay, to be frank about it. It's not that long. If you try to go in both directions in a short essay, it's going to be very superficial, and I'm not going to be happy. Spend your time going in one direction and engage. Remember what I say, narrow and deep. Narrow and deep. Now, there is a handout that talks about some sample topics that you can choose from. Okay, so take a look at that. They are actually divided in 2 parts. Some of our topics that go back to causation, why did something happen? Others emphasize the effects, what will happen because of it. Some of the topics appear in both lists, and some of the topics don't because one of the directions is really not that interesting. Okay, and of course you can always choose something that's not on the list. As always, if you have any questions, please contact me through the Canvas inbox or by email, the district email account. Okay? Good luck with this.